In Chapter 2 of your thesis, where you review and synthesize existing literature, you may feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of available data and studies. Rather than trying to include every source you encounter, it is essential to focus on quality over quantity. This approach means carefully selecting only those studies that are most relevant, reliable, and influential to your research topic. When you are overwhelmed by data, begin by establishing clear criteria for inclusion. These criteria should focus on the relevance of the study to your research questions, the credibility of the source, such as peer-reviewed articles, reputable academic books, and authoritative reports, and the methodological rigor of the work. By applying these standards, you ensure that each citation supports your argument and adds value to the overall narrative. Next, organize the literature using a structure that highlights the connections among studies. Group similar research together, under thematic or chronological subheadings. For instance, if your thesis examines digital learning, you might have sections dedicated to theoretical frameworks, empirical studies on student engagement, and research on technological innovations. Within each section, synthesize the findings rather than simply listing summaries. Compare and contrast different viewpoints, discuss how they build upon each other, and identify gaps that your study intends to address. Quality data is characterized by its ability to contribute meaningfully to your argument. Rather than including redundant studies or those with marginal significance, choose seminal works and recent research that offer robust evidence or innovative perspectives. This selective approach not only streamlines your review, but also helps maintain the clarity and focus of your discussion. Each source should be critically analyzed, with its strengths and limitations explained, and its relevance to your own research clearly stated. Moreover, by concentrating on quality over quantity, you reduce the risk of diluting your voice with excessive citations. Your literature review should reflect your analytical skills, demonstrating that you can interpret and integrate complex ideas. Use citations strategically to support your points, while ensuring that your original analysis remains at the forefront. This balance enhances the persuasiveness of your review and underscores the scholarly contribution of your research. Additionally, employing synthesis techniques, such as summarizing multiple studies in a few well-crafted sentences, can prevent your review from becoming a mere aggregation of data. Instead, it should present a coherent narrative that guides the reader through the evolution of ideas in your field. Transition words and phrases can further help illustrate the relationships between studies, clarifying how past research informs your current investigation. In summary, when confronted with an abundance of data in Chapter 2, prioritize high quality, sources that are directly relevant, and methodologically sound. Organize your literature review in a way that emphasizes synthesis and critical analysis over mere accumulation of studies. This method will not only improve the readability and coherence of your thesis, but also ensure that your research is built upon a solid, scholarly foundation. Avoiding data overload. Prioritizing quality over quantity in Chapter 2 of a thesis in writing. Chapter 2. Review of related literature. It is common for researchers to gather vast amounts of information. However, including more excessive data without proper organization can lead to information overload, making it difficult for readers to grasp the study's relevance. Instead of presenting an overwhelming amount of studies, it is essential to focus on quality over quantity, selecting the most relevant and credible sources that contribute meaningfully to the research. This section explains how to manage large volumes of data, select relevant sources, and present information effectively to maintain a clear and focused literature review. The challenge of data. Overload in literature reviews. The availability of vast academic resources, from journal, articles, books, reports, and online publications, can make it tempting to include as many studies as possible. However, overloading a literature review with excessive information can lead to several problems. Lack of focus. A literature review that includes too many unrelated or loosely connected studies can confuse readers and weaken the studies. Direction. Reduced readability. An excessive amount of information can make the text dense and difficult to follow, reducing its effectiveness. Weaker critical analysis. When too many sources are included, the researcher may not have enough space to critically evaluate each study, leading to a superficial discussion rather than a deep analysis. While Smith, 2018, highlights the collaborative benefits of social media in education, Johnson, 2019, warns about its potential distractions. Lee, 2020, offers a neutral perspective, suggesting that the effect varies depending on individual usage patterns. By comparing findings, the literature review becomes more engaging and meaningful. Conclusion: achieving a balanced literature review in. Writing Chapter 2 of a thesis, it is crucial to avoid data overload and focus on high quality, relevant studies. Selecting too many sources without proper filtering can lead to a lack of focus, weaker analysis, and reduced readability. To ensure quality over quantity, researchers should define clear selection criteria to include only the most relevant and credible studies. Organize literature into key themes to create a structured and focused discussion. Prioritize influential studies with strong evidence rather than listing excessive sources. Present findings concisely by summarizing and synthesizing rather than over-explaining. Avoid excessive citations and instead analyze how different studies relate to one another. By applying these strategies, the literature review remains clear, engaging, and academically rigorous, providing a strong foundation for the thesis. If you like this kind of content, click subscribe to be updated on the next tips on how to write Chapter 2. Thank you.